53 is a lot. Let's talk about it. I know it's late. Let me put this on Twitter. Let people know I'm up. Talking ball. Um, it's a lot to talk about. And for me, I really do believe that with what we saw today, it's a sign of change. Is it going to be a sustainable change? Well, you got to win. But I will say it's a sign of change. Hey, I'm gonna play the. I want to play the. I want to play some music for y'all. Is that cool? While we let some people get in here, let's see. Let's let some people get in here. I know it's late, but it's a sign of change, man. There we go. Yeah, I just uploaded. Can y'all hear the song that's playing? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear the song that's playing right now. If you guys go to Apple Music, hey, Flo, you guys go to Apple Music and you type in Foots Times Goals. I just put in the chat. Type that in, and then you type in Mongolia. So if you guys go to Apple Music and you type in Foots and Codes and you type in Mongolia, that is the song, and it's like a rework of a song that we already made. You guys know I make music, so man, And no, I'm not Sleepy MVP Lounge. I'm actually here to just talk about the roster and to talk about, really the Cowboys doing some things that I won't say I didn't expect, but it's like, man, they really kept Zion Childress based on the film, Ryan Flournoy based on the film, James Houston based on the film. Like they did responsible things. Now Mozzie made the team. We'll talk about that. There was a few moves that I could have done without, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Let's show some love to Chat Box. The Control 124, what up? Action Jackson. I know it's late, y'all, so may not be that many people on here. Tay, what up? J Cog 84, what up? April, you've been with me since day one. The MVP Lounge, what's up, homie? The MVP Lounge, what's up, homie? I'm gonna play this music. Let some more people get in here. There we go. Give me cash. What it do, baby? What it do? What it do? What it do? Check in. Oh, man. David Rodriguez. All the way in the Philippines. That's dope. Yeah, man. What y'all think about the music? It's got it's a flip, so make you dance a little bit. And this one is out. And at the end, I'll play some new stuff of some music that's not out. Cool, Peasy said it's funky. Yeah, man. Head to Apple Music right now and y'all download that. The song is called Mongolia, but it's a flip. I'll have more content to you guys tomorrow. I may also have a really, really special guest on the channel. I'm working on getting a very, very special guest on the channel. This season is here, and you guys know You guys know what time it is when the season's here, and I'm just keep trying to go up. So the Cowboys 53-man roster is here. It's a lock. And they're gonna, there'll be a few more moves, right? Waiver wire, stuff like that. There'll be moves that, you pick up guys from other teams. You pick up players who may not have been locked in, or they didn't get a chance because there's contractual situations or new scheme or new coaches or whatever whatever the case may be. There'll be players from other teams that this scouting department looks at, likes, and says, man, they could be Dallas Cowboys. But for right now, we do have our Dallas Cowboys. I've seen a few people ask about the Micah rumors. I'll just tell y'all, there's absolutely no way. Unless the Packers are going to give us Josh Jacobs, 3 first-round picks, and the linebacker. What's the linebacker's name? If they want to do that, I think that the Cowboys would do it, but then it wouldn't be a fair investment. So no, I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that that they have, I'm sure, reached out, but to act like it's, hey, thank you for that, Peasy. To act like that's real, where there's smoke, there's not always fire, and there's no fire to that. I don't think that Micah Parsons is going to get paid. I actually expect Micah Parsons to get paid either tomorrow or Thursday. From what I heard, the talks are back. I'm not going to say it's positive. It's heating up, but conversation is back. They want to get this deal done. So now it's just about getting the deal done. You know what I'm saying? But those picks, nah. The deal is going to get done. I'm thinking this week, Dallas is going to make sure that they get the deal done. All right, so let's talk about the roster. Dallas did the right thing. And I know that there are a lot of people who may say, man, there's no way that the Cowboys let go of or didn't sign Trayshawn Holden. There's no way that the Cowboys let go of Izzy McQuamble. We'll talk about that. But, the first one that was interesting was they traded Awesome Richards. Awesome Richards is no longer a Cowboy. And I think rightfully so. Like, he never panned out, is what it is. And he jack of all trades, and he wasn't a good jack of those trades. And then he mastered really none. And then you had guys like Nate Thomas really take a year to jump. Nobody's talking about how when Tyler Guyton went down, you saw Nate Thomas playing and you say, this is interesting. He looks like he's developing. And so Awesome Richards out of North Carolina, is he a guard? I don't know. Is he a tackle? I don't know. What is Awesome Richards? Do you guys know who he was? The Cowboys didn't. They traded him, and they got a 2028 pick, was it? They got a 2028 pick for him. So at the end of the day, as much as we love our own, I think that's good roster building. All right, I think that's you did the right thing because as much as I would have loved for Awesome to develop. At a point, you got to say, man, this guy just isn't good enough. Yesterday, we found out that Lyle Collins wasn't going to be a Cowboy. And I don't think that was, me personally, I don't think that was super surprising that Lyle wasn't in the Cowboys' plans. And I think he may be a guy that they bring back on the practice squad. But, at the end of the day, guys like Awesome Richards, guys like Israel McQuamble, who we'll talk about in a second, and ultimately guys like Trayshawn Holden, some of the guys that, we wanted, but they didn't pan out. And so let's talk about Israel McQuamble, because I've seen quite a few people say, man, Izzy, he got a raw deal. They never used him. Listen, it's kind of like how I feel about, it's not kind of, it is. It's how I feel about what I just said about Awesome Richards. what is Israel McQuamu good at? If anybody in the chat can tell me, like, what is his calling card? I think he's a versatile player, not really good at anything. Like when you watch Zion Childress, who made this team because of the tape, because of the way he plays, we know he's going to fit. We know he's going to tackle. We know he's tough. So he's good at least one thing. Now, can he develop his game into being versatile and doing some of the other things? For sure. We hope. But we know he's good at one thing. We know James Houston, okay, younger player, 26-year-old. He's not a perfect DM, but we know he has a pass rush bag. He uses his hands. He's good as a pass rusher. He's good at one thing, right? We know Flournoy, who was a big body, catch radius. He's good at multiple things. And now he's running down on special teams. And I'm hearing that's why he got the nod, and we'll talk about that. He's good at something. What is Israel McQuamu good at that this Cowboys front office, the scouts say we need to have him on the roster? Because versatility isn't a trait. And I listen, it's not a trait. So, and shout out to you, Paul. Yeah, that Ryan Flournoy video, if you guys haven't, shameless plug, on my page, go watch that Ryan Flournoy video. It really is it's one of my best works just because he does the dirty work. Izzy is really good at being able to stand in those at those positions, but there's going to be times that he gets beat on the edge. There's going to be times where he doesn't want to come up and tackle. There's going to be times where it's like, yeah, let's flirt with putting Izzy in a slot. I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we really want to put Israel McQuamu in the slot, chasing around quicker? And then we got to think about the scheme, right? Izzy was brought in under a Dan Quinn regime. I wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way to Washington. So he was brought in under that regime. But can we be honest? Like, that regime has been cleansed outside of Mozzie, cleansed. And Matt Eberflus, he asks his guys to do different things. Right? I'm talking good, y'all. I'm talking good. Come on. Give me a round of applause. I'm talking good. Come on. Talking good, y'all. So at the end of the day, you know, there's a high premium in this defense. You are required to tackle. You're required to tackle. Is he at times wants to tackle? At times he doesn't. I think he's a good player. Pops it. Physical. But does he want to tackle? Right? We saw Zion Childress come up every play. Car crash. Car physical. Young guy. Rookie. Not playing games. He's on the team. Izzy is off the team. And I wish Izzy luck because I like Israel McQuamu. Like I do. All right, let's talk about Trayshawn Holden. Cowboys went lighter receiver, and I thought that was smart. Okay? You go light at a position like that because at the end of the day, when you have the big two, when you have CD and you have George Pickens, you're not keeping 6-7 receivers. You're just not doing it. Those guys aren't going to play. They're not going to, I hate to say it, but none of these guys really hold rank as far as needing to get touches over those two. None of them. So what can you do outside of touching the football? What can you do? What can you do outside of touching the football, ladies and gentlemen? Well, Ryan Flournoy can block. Really good. Ryan Flournoy can run down and cover kicks. Really good. Ryan Flournoy is a big body. He's fast. And he's physical. Ryan Flournoy is fast, physical. He can block. He's on the team for those reasons. And oh, by the way, shameless plug, go watch the video that I just put out. He's catching everything. And just being honest with y'all, he's running routes better. Like his his route running chops have really cleaned up. His route running chops have really cleaned up, and that's the part where it's like, you know, I think that when you see that, you say, okay, he got in the bag, he got in the jam, he took his craft to the next level, and to me, when I look at Flournoy, I say, man, is there a world where he could eventually be your true wide receiver 3? Because wide receiver 1 and 2 are locked. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and it's going to be those two for a long time. Especially after what they do this year. Because make no mistake about it, the Bengals O-line, the Bengals defense, even with the money they just gave Trey Hendrickson, was kind of weird to me, right? You're giving Trey Hendrickson basically a $14 million raise, and then you pretty much know the defense is going to be bad. I probably would have tried to move him because you know that your defense is just not there. All right. So, but you pay Trey Hendrickson, you go through the whole offseason. See, with Dallas and with what they're going to end up doing with Micah, you know that Micah, when he's on the field, right? If nothing else, your EPA per play defensively is been the best in the league when Micah Parsons is on the field. So you know that his worth is real. I think with Trey Hendrickson, I think it's just like, man, let's just have another veteran on the defense who's been a really good player. Don't get me wrong, but like when you look at the Bengals, yeah, they drafted Demetrius Knight, but it's like Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart, who he's not even locked in on a depth chart. They did draft Stewart, but then he had the weird holdout. If it's me, I would have said, man, let's try to move him. But that's a whole nother point. Let's talk about why I really brought up the Bengals, because the Bengals defense probably isn't going to be great this year. The Bengals O-line is going to be a work in progress. They got Amarius Mims, the whole nine, but is it going to be great? Who knows? You guys may know. I don't. But the Bengals have two. Actually, I take that back, because with Yosevich, Andre Yosevich and Jermaine Burton, and the two big horses, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, they are going to be in games. Make no mistake about it. The Cincinnati Bengals are going to be in games. Foots, why do you bring this up? The Dallas Cowboys are going to be in games with CeeDee Lamb and T. Higgins. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be in games with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Is what it is. The Dallas Cowboys are going to be in games with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Two true one option, 1A, 2 1s. CeeDee said at the beginning of camp, and it's true. I think the drive that I've seen with CeeDee, I'm going to just tell y'all, get ready for 1,500 yards if Dak stays healthy. Get ready for 1,600, 1,700 yards if Dak stays healthy and CeeDee stays healthy. He's driven. He's doing stuff after the catch. They're getting the ball in so many different ways. And if you start trying to get cute, we'll throw it over your head. We'll throw it over your head on purpose. The Dallas Cowboys made this play for George Pickens for a reason. We saw Michael Gallup get cut from the Commanders. A lot of people have done this thing where it's like, yeah, let's compare George Pickens and Michael Gallup. And I don't think there's a comparison. I like Michael Gallup a lot, but we talk about the ball tracking, the run after the catch, the grit, the dog. It's George Pickens, and it's not close. It's George Pickens, and it's not close. So for me, and thank you for the $10 Superman. Much love to you, MVP Lounge. We'll definitely get to that. Oh, yeah, my guy, King Marquise, my dog. Shout out to you, bro. You always support the music. You support everything. Shout out to you. Yeah. You know what I mean, Sean? It's not close, Sean. Sean, it's not close. Right? And so with those two, a balanced passing attack is amazing, right? But you know that the Bengals, if nothing else, they're going to be in games. They're going to win games. they're going to be in the playoff hunt because of really the receiver position. So you look at the Dallas Cowboys, because of the receiver position, you know the offense should be at some point get going, get its footing. I think the Cowboys have a better offensive line than the Bengals. It's just going to take a little bit of time to gel under the staff, but I think that they have a better offensive line. And so when you talk about a guy like Flournoy, what does his role need to be? Hey, man, 3 receiver sets, right? Because Mingo's out and injury opens up opportunity. You don't want anybody to get hurt, but injury opens up opportunity. Ryan Flournoy, as much as people love Trayshawn Holden, right now I'd rather have Ryan Flournoy on my team than Trayshawn Holden. I just would. That's not to say that I don't think Trayshawn Holden will be a good pro. I love Trayshawn Holden. I've done content on Trayshawn Holden. But to act like he's just this, so much better than Ryan Flournoy is just crazy. Got to go watch the film. You got to go watch how Flournoy wins. He wins on end breaker. He's physical. He'll make he'll make catches. He'll play through tackles. And by the way, he'll never get double this year. Like there's never going to be a time where Ryan Flournoy is being double teamed or has safety help over the top. So all he has to do is win his matchup versus corner 2, corner 3. There you go. That's why Ryan Flournoy is on the team. It is what it is. Now, could you say, man, I would like to have Holden? Cool. Yeah. I mean, there's people who have their fan favorites. And if you don't have Pickens on the team, now you're scrambling to find now you're scrambling to find a Batman for CD. There is no more. There is no more scramble. There is no more. No. Who's the butler that was on Batman? Who helped Batman get his stuff, get dressed and all that and helping him with the evil people's coordinates. Who was that? What was his name? What's the butler's name? Batman. Anyway, that's who Flournoy is. Alfred. There you go, Trevor. Flournoy's Alfred. Get the car ready. Go out. Make sure you block. Do your job. Flournoy, he's Piccolo. All right? Flournoy. Just win your battles, Piccolo. Do what you need to do. Vegeta and Goku got it. All right? So, that's the Flournoy. That's why he made it, all right? It's change. Change is coming. Let's get through the rest of this roster. Let's talk about it. Let me actually get to this super chat. Like I said, I want to talk to y'all for a little bit. And we in here, we rocking, we rolling. Appreciate you as always. We continue to grow together. I'm ready for the season. Michael will be here game 1. Side note, you should draft. Should I draft? Hey, you know what? Y'all help Marquise out, man. Should he draft Lamb or Pickens? We got time. Y'all help him out. Should we draft Lamb or Pickens? It's a good one. Should we draft Lamb or Pickens? I'd probably go Lamb, but there's really no wrong answer. No wrong answer there, Marquise. All right, here we go. Let's talk about these running backs. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Jadon Blue. Phil Maffa is hurt. Phil Maffa's hurt his shoulder. His shoulder started to hurt. My shoulder. I'll tell you this. When you watch the film, Phil Maffa runs angry. He runs with a purpose. He runs inspired. He's going to play football for the Cowboys. I don't think there was ever a time where I saw Deuce Vaughn ever look like Maffa in an NFL game where it was just like, man, you see this guy playing tough. And I think that Deuce was a fan favorite. The story, his dad, Chris Vaughn, all of it. But he was let go today, and I think he rightfully so. There's people, I remember there were some people, you got to figure out a way to get him involved. How? How are you going to get Deuce Vaughn involved with Kevontae Turpin, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, George Pick? Like, I don't want my offensive coordinator, who is Brian Schottenheimer, who's also the heck. I don't want you game planning or trying to get Deuce Vaughn involved. If he can't get his within the scheme, then it's just not going to work. And it didn't work, and they let him go. The one that's interesting for me is Miles Sanders. Because when he ran this preseason, he didn't really look good in the vision, didn't look great. Very small sample size. It just didn't look good. And again, the one that we don't know about just because we haven't seen it live is Javonte Williams. Now, we're hoping that Javonte Williams can do what we need him to do. We just don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Javonte would, like, he's the running back. And I think he's the running back to set a physical tone early in the season. I think that's why Javonte Williams is your starter. But there's also a world where I think people have forgotten that he's 2 years now removed from that injury. And at North Carolina, in his first year in Denver, he was really good. But there's also been this contingency of fans, whether it's in the fantasy world, whether it's whoever, like, yeah, nah, man, Javonte Williams can't play. He sucks. This, that, and the third. But again, when I tell you guys, this offense is going to be based around your receiver play. And you need to run the ball, but you don't need 2016 Ezekiel Elliott. It's just not how you're not going to win that way. Now, these Cowboys aren't going to win that way. They're going to win with Dak's mind. They're going to win with being sharp at the line of scrimmage, looking at the box, seeing what's going on. And then you're ultimately going to win with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb being your best player on offense. Now, if a running back emerges, Jaden Blue, Javonte Williams, whoever, if a running back emerges, a running back emerges. But when you talk about Javonte Williams' role, he's going to pick up the blitz. He's going to stick his nose in there and be physical, burst the blitz, and when he runs. When Javonte Williams runs and makes contact, people are going to feel it. But that's, things start getting crazy. Go give me a tough 7-yard run, 8-yard run. Calm things down. Very Chris Carson-esque, who I think Brian Schottenheimer, checked me on that, had Chris Carson when he was calling the offense in Seattle. So we got that. People don't know, but Javonte Williams also catches the ball very well out the backfield. He catches the ball very, very well out the backfield. So there's a few reasons why I think Javonte Williams was like this shoe-in. And those are my reasons. I also think that with this scheme, Clayton Adams, what he's done with the backs that he's had, I'm not saying that this is a lock by any means, but you're hoping that he can get the most out of these guys, right? That's what you're hoping. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that Javonte Williams is going to be 1,000-yard, 1,200-yard back. But if he can get you, have some big games, have a game or two. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. Next Thursday, Vic Fangio is going to heat you up. This is going to happen. And so you got to have guys in there to stick their nose in there, get the checks, do what they need to do. So I think that's why he got the nod, and I believe that it was the right nod, honestly. Because nobody took the job. There were times where you're like, yeah, man, Miles Sanders, he's showing some nice things, but couldn't really stay healthy. Didn't make it all the way through camp. And then Jaden Blue, for as good as Jaden Blue is, little ankle, little this, little that. Now, when you hear him talk, even after the game, it didn't sound like it was anything with him, right? But then Twitter, reporters, everybody's, well, Jaden Blue, is he hurt? Guy? So I don't know. But that's your running back room. Tight ends is pretty much a wash. And honestly, with the tight ends, I will say with Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker and Brevin Spann-Ford. I don't think that Luke is good. I don't think he's bad. I just think he's on the team. I think Brevin, I've said this, even with paying Jake Ferguson, I still think that Brevin has the highest upside out of these tight ends. I mean, the money's not going to change that for me. Brevin, being as tall as he is, being as physical as he is, and improving like his hands and his route running and where he's supposed to be, and kind of like a souped up safety blanket for Dak Prescott. I think that Brevin has the highest ceiling. And Marquise, that's a good point. With John Stevens, I just think that the injury last year, it's that, man, it's always that athletic tight end that you just like, man, how can we get him to, and it's like, nah, man. Nah, it ain't. And then we also got to think they're going to use Hunter Luepke, who he deserves to be on the football team. He'll block, he'll catch, he'll play H-back, he'll do the things, right? He will do all the things. And I think that you need that. And in the offensive line, we'll just run through them. Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, who I'll raise my hand. I didn't want to go Tyler Booker over a pass threat. Matthew Golden looks like he looks really good with the Packers, but Tyler Booker has been really good here. And we got George Pickens. So, Foots, maybe you kind of got it and acted like a draft baby. Well, it is what it is. But you guys know why I wanted a pass catching weapon. Why I wanted Ted McMillan, who also looks good as well. And we got our weapon, so it is what it is. But Tyler Booker nonetheless looks good. Now he's gonna get, hey, you about to get baptized, homie. Don't worry about it. Tyler Booker, Terrence Steele, Nate Thomas. What a surprise. Johnny Cornelius, what a surprise. TJ Bass and Brock Hoffman, your mainstays, is your backups. And I think they've embraced that role and they're okay with that. Nate Thomas, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. Nate Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about year 1, year 2 growth. And just talk about playing good football. Let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Much love to y'all. Battle, the Basement Boys, MVP Lounge, Marquise, my homie, Peasy. What's up, Peasy? Peasy, also, thank you for adding the music, man. That means a lot to me. Ledbetter, Luca, these just regular cornrows with a retwist. I keep it basic, baby. Birdman, what's up? Shout out to everybody in the DMV in the chat. April, I see you comment. Keep showing love, y'all. I'm up late as crap. I'm very excited for the football season. Now I'm also, you guys know, draft season. I cannot wait for that Texas-Ohio State game. Going to be a banger. I don't have no team I'm rooting for. I'm just rooting for players. Caleb Downs. I'll be watching Arch. I'll be watching Hill. Y'all know draft season is here. So, I don't know. I ain't going to say draft season is here, but y'all know who I'm watching in that game. So, anyway, guys. So, those are the O-linemen. Let's go to defensive side of the ball because this was interesting for me. Zion Childress and James Houston made it. We'll talk about them, but let's talk about the defensive ends. Micah Parsons, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Marshawn Neal, Donovan Ezeraku, James Houston. This is the strength of your defense, and this is how you become a playoff team right here. Waves of pass rush. Waves of pass rush, guys. This is how you become a playoff team. This could be the difference between 8-9 win team, 10-11 win team. Waves of pass rush. Waves of pass rush. I'm going to keep saying that this is the difference. This is the why. Bringing in James Houston tells me these guys want to get after the pass. They want to get after the passer, but then they also want to play coverage on the back end and keep things in front of them. And I'm not mad at that. It won't be so much Dan Quinn run and chase and play press, and it won't be so much of that when teams are running in breakers and trying to run you off and running all these different, mesh schemes and, man beaters, basically wheel routes and everything on the back end. Snag is a zone and a man beater, but you guys get what I'm saying. When teams are trying to run that stuff, when you're playing vision and you're playing off man and you have 2 safeties over the top, but you can still get home with 4, guess what? That's when the interceptions come. And oh, by the way, you have linebackers playing linebacker correctly. I tell people at the best, this will be a souped up version of Mike Zimmer's defense, where Mike Zimmer's defense looked really good at times last year. Stymied that great Washington Commanders offense, stymied a few offenses, just couldn't score to keep pressure on their offense. In NFL, you have to be able to do that. So the strength of your team, and make no mistake about this, James Houston adds to that strength your defensive ends. And I'm talking about the whole team. As much as I like the receivers, you got 2 receivers. You got Michael Parsons, Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Marshall. You got 4 guys. 4 guys that can go do it. Marshawn Nealon shows some bump and shows some rushing the passer. Right? Now, let's jump down to the defensive tackles. And that penetrating style of defense, Osa, Solomon Thomas, Mozzie Smith, Jay Toia, Perion Winfrey. You guys, y'all heard the deep breath I just took. I'm working on myself, y'all. First, don't overreact. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Show emotion, but be able to pull it back a little bit. I'm going to do it one more time. The defensive tackle room. Mozzie, I love you, Mozzie. I championed you getting drafted. Mozzie. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't tell the truth. And Mozzie just hasn't shown enough to be on this team. I'll stand in front of this. I'll stand in front of this camera and say that. He hasn't shown enough to be on this team. You know, I'm tired. Hey, battle. Now, I'm not making this up. Brian Schottenheimer today, first thing he says is, we've talked to Mozzie about being more consistent. When a coach starts saying stuff like that to the media, come on, y'all. When a coach starts saying stuff like that to the media, and don't be surprised if Mozzie doesn't start. Don't be surprised if it's Solomon Thomas and also Odigizua. Don't be surprised. Yeah, I see a few guys talking about Okoye from the Ravens. Me and Sky were talking about. He kind of put him on my radar. I love Dallas to do their due diligence, and I don't think that they're done at the defensive tackle position because they know what they have on the edge, and they know they'll be able to get home on the edge, but they need to be able to win on first and second down. So I'm not mad at that at all. But just talking about Mozzie, you know, there was nobody really to push him that's not on the roster now. So I get it, but let's be honest, man. Year 3, no real jump, no real consistency, no real fire, kind of like in his head. So I'm not going to spend too much time. You do see the strength with Jay Toia. You know what Solomon Thomas knows how to play double teams. He knows how to play blocks. He knows how to play big football. And then Osa is Osa. Osa is a dog. Osa is a goat. Osa does it. You know what I mean? And Osa got paid to do it. So shout out to him. Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, Maris Lewis-Fowle, Damone Clark, Shamar James. So right after the receivers, I think the linebacker group is really going to be special this year. Number one, they're being coached by one of the best linebacker minds in the NFL, and Matt Eberflus. Resume speaks for itself. And you know, he's a good linebackers coach. You can see just what he's done with Damone Clark. You can see it. But then you also see guys like Shamar James, who, ladies and gentlemen, Shamar James, like, bro, he did not play this sound at Florida. He didn't. Shamar James did not play this sound at Florida. He's playing sound now. He's playing good football now. You can't do nothing but be excited for him. And then the cornerback room, and this is where, we talked about it. And actually, you know what? Let me go back to the defensive end room and, the title of this live stream, James Houston. I was so excited for the young man because he earned it. He earned that roster spot. That's why you go 5, you go lighter receiver, because he's going to help you on Sundays getting after the passer. Coming in, waves, pass rush. James Houston, man, he's good, especially getting after the passer, and his story is amazing. And then the cornerbacks, man, Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland. The Diggs news is heavy. Kyer Elam, he comes over from Buffalo, and he looks like he's going to have a resurgence, but that's something that we got to keep an eye on because, yes, it's camp and everybody's excited and he's happy and blah, 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 blah. But here's the but. Kyer Elam gets out there. He starts playing Lulu, starts losing his confidence. All that good camp stuff goes out the window. He's going to be on the outside, so we'll all get a chance to see just who he is. Andrew Booth, true backup. Kalen Carson, don't know if he's healthy. Literally didn't see Kalen Carson do anything in training camp this year. And then Zion Childress, that's the one. For me, with Childress, what a story. Undrafted, could play the nickel, could probably play some safety if you asked him to. What a story. Physical, gritty, like, he's why you love football. He is why you love football. Zion Childress is. And this is why I said sign of change, because if nothing else, the Cowboys are evaluating the football and making decisions off the football. Not all the time, right? There's still a little politics, and in every aspect of life, it gets political. Your job, at home, it's politics as usual. What Hov say? You know how we do. Politics as usual. Wow. Like, come on. But Zion worked. Zion is physical. Zion will stick his nose in there, i.e. Kyler Gordon, and make tackles. So Zion is going to be a Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboy, and you can't do nothing but be excited for him. You can't do nothing but be excited for him. And then the safeties, I think we all sound like a broken record, but we know they're famous for Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. Like, those are your safeties. And I'll say this. I liked Elijah Clark, especially in that last game. He showed some stuff, right? Clark did. It's going to be tough they trust Malik Hooker, and now Malik Hooker's back with Matt Eberflus. See, Matt Eberflus is going to really help Malik Hooker. They know each other. He knows the scheme. So Eberflus is really going to help Hooker. And Marvin just said it, Hooker looked good, man. Like, Hooker ran the alley well, played with Pop. I mean, we got to remember, bro, Hooker at Ohio State was a bad boy. Had the injury when he got drafted to the Colts, but the athletic ability is there. It's just at times, the play was a little up and down, and that's to be expected from a safety. And I'm going to tell you this, you're not winning and losing football games because of safety play. Like, the league has transitioned so much. I just hate to say it. With 7-on-7, with passing, with these quarterbacks, with them knowing every defense, if you don't have two great receivers, it's hard to win in the NFL. You can do it, but it's hard. It's hard. You better have an amazing offensive coordinator, i.e. Kansas City. But when you look at Philly, there's a reason why Philly drafted Devontae Smith, looked at Smith and said, that's not enough. He's probably not a true one. Let's go give up some stuff to go get A.J. Brown. Now we got two guys, and they just went crazy and went and got Saquon. And shout out to them. I don't want to sit here and, some of y'all, everybody jumps on their knees for Howie. I ain't doing all that. But shout out to him for doing that. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, you're not winning games because of no safety. You're winning games because of you can score points or you have a really stout defense, or you could run the ball at an exceptional rate. But, at the end of the day, I feel good about this roster for a few reasons. I think that Dallas will be able to score points. In turn, they'll be able to get after the quarterback. Now, styles make fights. If teams are going to come out and sit on the ball and limit the opportunities that the Cowboys have to score the football, then you could be in some trouble. And you're not going to win every game this year. So that surely is what it is. But, I don't know even if you'll have to score 30 or 40 points a game. I don't think it's that. I think that you'll have to get opportunistic stops. Because I don't think that there are, on your schedule, like amazing offenses. Philly has an amazing offense because they can run the ball, yes. But they got a new offensive coordinator. Let's look at the Cowboys schedule. And let's just look at the offenses. But they do have a new offensive coordinator, and sometimes it may take them a little bit. But let's look at it. Do the Giants have an amazing offense? No. Do the Bears have an amazing offense? No. The Packers do have a good offense and a great run game. Do the Jets have an amazing offense? No. Do the Panthers have an amazing offense? No. So in the first 6 weeks, if you can get out of there at 4-2, you feel pretty good about the season, right? 5-1, you feel great. You feel great. Okay, then you get to the Commanders. We'll see with the Commanders, right? Terry missed camp. I don't think they have a number 2 receiver, and I don't think their defense is great. Broncos have an amazing defense. Offense, Sean Payton's going to, do what he does, but offense, cool. Cardinals trying to find themselves. Raiders trying to find themselves, even though we know who Ashton Genty is. Eagles again. Chiefs. So that's a tough stretch. That stretch of Philly, Kansas City, Detroit, and the Vikings, brutal. That 4-game stretch, nasty. And then the Chargers, Commanders, and Giants. It's like until the Giants show me they can score points consistently and show me they can block us consistently, I don't believe. So I don't believe. But at the end of the day, I don't think that there's, this surplus of great offense in the NFL. Right? That's just me. So it's going to be fun year. But as far as the roster goes, how do you guys feel about the roster? And if you got any questions for me, jump them in there. If not, I'm going to play a few more tunes and get out of here. I'm going to play all some unreleased music because it's 12:30 at night and I got 400 people in here. 12:30 at night, I got 400 people in here. That's none but God, man. Very grateful. Very, very grateful. And I promise you guys, I'm going to start going live more just to continue to push the content to you all. But what questions do y'all have? I'm going to try to get to a few questions. I'm going to play a few jams. 460, yeah, facts, 477. Any questions, concerns about the roster? That's a great point. Somebody said Washington won a lot of their games. Yeah, they did. I mean, they won a lot of games off of like last play, miracles, close games. A few of those things in those games go the wrong way, and then it is what it is. What do you think our record is going to be? I got 11 would it be 11-6 now, not 11-5. I got 11 wins. Fuster King, how do you feel the offense will do? I think the offense will be good. You got to keep Dak healthy. Who on the street would you go get today? Sean, probably nobody. Because they're on the street is for a reason. This is a good question. 10-7, that's good. Waiting for Diggs. Yes, I'm waiting for Diggs. First, why does CJ Goodwin roster spot? What a waste. Should have went Izzy. We talked about that earlier. Go rewind it. All right, y'all. I'm getting up out of here. I love you guys. I'm gonna play an unreleased jump. I'm gonna play like 2 unreleased jumps. Let's see. Let's go Fool's Gold. Actually, you know what? Let's go Summer Rain. We'll go Summer Rain and the Blackberries. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Shout out to the music. We just dropped a new song. And shout out to the new Cowboys roster. Love you guys, man. Love you all. Get some rest, y'all. Go run my Spotify up too, y'all. Go run my Spotify up. If you want to download and you want to support monetarily, I'll put the link in the description box as well. Let me know what y'all think about the music. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
One to be you.
How y'all feel about it? I'm gonna let the whole thing rock. Eat some cashews. This genre is like funk, chill wave, just groove.
Yeah, but a lot to kill you.
It is only the artist.
And play y'all one more.
Giving us any sense of what it's like to be alive, to be fat, and to glory in this fact.
Wait a minute, this isn't gold.
I like you want it gold. You know what else?
Yep. Definitely low vibe. I mean, lo-fi, bro. King Solomon, that's my vibe. I'm not really into the mainstream. Everything for me is like real underground. I've been listening to that Earl Sweatshirt. I like all underground music. Yep, and it's unreleased, Paul. And Marquise Earl talking that talk. I'm proud of that. Yep, Marvin, that's me playing the drums. Wrote the music. Me and my man Coles. He was actually in New York today. Had to do some stuff. I do a lot of things, man. But I appreciate my Cowboys family for always showing love. Only got one life. Keep going. All right, y'all. Got these cashews going crazy. It's still 300 people in here, so I'm gonna just say this. I feel really good about the season. Hopefully that music made y'all feel better. I love you guys. Got some great stuff coming on the channel. Oh, go watch the Flournoy video I did. He made the team now, so go watch the Flournoy video I did. Love you guys. Peace.